Hey, hi guys. Glad that you could drop by Superlative Radio today. Dylan Stone here with you. Always glad to spend some time with you. On today's vlog, I want to have a little chit-chat about gun violence. Yeah, I know. You're filled with all the news stories and all the things that are happening, but I want to try and take it from a different angle. Now, I've said on my radio show a few times about the fact that the government isn't handling all the gun violence, especially in the States. I mean, we have it here in Canada, obviously not as bad as the States, but we still have gun violence. But, I mean, we are stricter in our way of going about it and stuff, but obviously we're not doing it strict enough. And one of the things, especially with the States, like trying to take more guns away and the problem is not the guns. I've said that before. It's not the guns. Because if you take a gun and put it on the table and leave it there for 100 years, it'll never kill anybody. The gun is not the problem. It's the people that should not have access to guns that are the problem. And, in a lot of cases, there are signs, they've said it before, they post things on Facebook and all different social medias and whatnot, about they hate this or they hate that or their life's going down the toilet or my girlfriend left me or, whatever. And for most cases, a lot of these people are loners, okay? They have no real social circle. They can't relate very well to other people. It's just, they're in a terrible place, sort of between a rock and a hard place. And it builds up and it builds up, and like a pressure cooker, eventually it has to go. For all intent and purpose, these people are outcasts, right? They have no real social circle. They have no real friends. They're sort of between a rock and a hard place. And that's not a good place to be. And eventually, it builds up and it builds up, and like a pressure cooker, it's got to go, And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to relate this to a personal side of my own, just to give you an example. When I was coming out of elementary school into high school for the first few years, I was a social outcast, more or less. I didn't fit in. I had, I was, cowboy hat, cowboy boots, and I had my guitar, and I was dressed in black a lot like Johnny Cash, because that was, that's my idol. And people at that point were listening to Kiss and Queen and all the, and I was going to say kids, but all my social, my peers, I guess, for lack of a better term, kind of looked at me kind of strange because I did not follow the social convention. In a sense, I brought it on myself because I didn't, I wasn't the one to follow, and I never was one to follow the, the stream, as it were. I was always going upstream. That was just what it was. If everybody jumped off the bridge, I was the one who stood there and went, yeah, well, whatever, and I'd go the other way. That was just, and I'm still that way today. But I've more or less come into my own because of it now. But at that point, it was a very, very difficult place to be. Because, there were many times that I would laying in bed at night worrying about what's going to happen the next day. Because, I was picked on and I was, verbally abused and I was, the whole thing. So this is the kind of thing that you find these people are in. But I was lucky enough because I had an anchor, which was my music. I could always lose myself in music and I would always feel better. I had my guitar, which always helped me feel better. I get the idea that these people that end up going off the deep end, for lack of a better term, do not have something that is an anchor for them. They have nowhere that they can express their feelings and express their thoughts and just kind of be themselves. And thus the reason that eventually they just go crazy and start shooting people. There has to be warning signs around. Obviously there were warning signs with me. You could see that I ate in the cafeteria alone, and I was, for a short period of time there, in the midst of what I was going through, it wasn't a pleasant place to be. And maybe if we can see this kind of thing happening, this could be avoided. Now, the other part of that is, have you ever heard of buddy benches? In elementary school now, they have what they call buddy benches. And if they make it that if somebody sits there and they're alone, they tell the children to take the time to go over and sit and talk to them. So if you're alone and you sit on a buddy bench, someone will come and they will talk to you and they'll spend some time with you, which I think is a brilliant idea, because it teaches children from a young age to recognize when someone's alone, to feel empathy, to feel like you want to help somebody. Whoever came up with this idea deserves so much credit, because this is what we need to do. If we start them from a young age at recognizing the fact that there are people around who need maybe some extra comfort or some extra care or extra attention, and you allow them to do it, it can change somebody's life. And this is something that might help these people that find themselves in this situation. Sometimes all it takes is a kind word from one person, and it can make a world of difference. If you're out and around in your everyday life and you see somebody that just looks like they're down or looks like they just sort of say, hey, how you doing today? Just talk to them. You don't have to go into their whole life story, but just, hey, how you doing today? Is everything good? You having a good day? And maybe they'll just say to you, well, today's not. And if you really, truly want to help somebody, say, well, what's going on? Can I help? They may say no, but the fact that you took the time to want to help could change somebody's life, because you just took the time to show kindness and empathy where most people won't. Think about that. It boils down to a lot of what I keep saying on my shows. If we help each other, we can't go wrong. Kindness, empathy, love, all these things make a difference. They really do. This is something you need to think about. Maybe this could help some of the gun violence. I'm just throwing it out there for you. It's just something I thought about, and I thought I would share with you guys, because I think deep down, I think that could be what could make a difference. What do you think? info@superlativeradio.com, superlativeradio.com@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. Am I on the right track? I'd like to know. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by and seeing us at Superlative Radio. We're really glad you could take the time to stop by. Hope you can stop by again real soon. Until then, Dylan Stone here. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other, because that's the way it's supposed to be. We'll see you soon.